Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Starseeds and Lightworkers Collective. My name is Crystal, and tonight we have a returning guest, Miss Ingrid Nevar, who is going to be sharing some of her wisdom with us. As well, she is going to be talking to us about a new project that she's working on. Well, it's not new, but it's a new release. It's a project with the Awaken Wholeness Center. And if you are a member, then you know that she has been working with that group for a long time. And she is basically going to be talking to us about the latest step in their project. So they were working with a smaller venue before, and then they have been renovating and working and creating a whole new place called the Awaken Wholeness Center. And it's located in Rhode Island. And she is going to tell us about where they're at right now, and what you can expect if you're in Rhode Island and you're looking for state of the art healing. This is the place to go. So Ingrid is an American Sign Language interpreter, and she's also a multidimensional person who has been living on this planet, but has been having a lot of multidimensional experiences. If you were here with us back earlier this spring, and so she has come a long way, not only in her own personal development, but also in terms of where she's been as an experiencer, but also working with other people. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce to you Ingrid Nevar. Hi, Ingrid. How you doing?
That was sweet. Hi. Yeah,
Hi.
nice to be with you again.
Yeah.
We should probably say that Mercury is going retrograde,
Yeah.
and so, being as how I'm
Yep.
a Gemini,
Mm-hmm.
and we're live streaming,
Yeah.
and we're on Zoom. Um, I just hope that there are numerous folks that have patience.
Yeah.
And the last time that we talked, when we planned this get together, we were hoping that you would come and join us live
Exactly.
during our grand opening, and I would be giving you a tour. I would have my laptop at the Awaken Wholeness Center, and you'd be able to see the place. We're not at that stage yet. We are still getting ready to be ready.
Okay.
But I've taken a number of photos to share with you to give you glimpses of what will you will be able folks who are coming by will be able to access when we do open our doors. And I hope that that's going to be soon. It could be about maybe 4 to 6 weeks
Okay.
until our soft opening, but it might be a little sooner. Um,
Yeah.
you know how things go. You know how things go. So I will explain more as we move through the slides. I don't have a lot of them. I'm happy to answer any questions that people have about the tech, about the facility, about the stuff that I do, the stuff that we do. Um, Happy to answer any questions, but without further ado, should I just share my screen with you?
Well, before we do, I know that we have quite a few new members that are with us now, and so I think it would be nice to sort of get just a little bit more background as to who you are and what makes you so wonderful, and in particular some of your multidimensional experiences and how this actually led you to working with the Awaken Wholeness Center and the New Kirks. Maybe we can talk about them as well, because I think people would be nice to know about who the people are behind this project, and then we
Absolutely.
can work towards talking more about the center. So I'll let you take the stage.
Sure. Well, I am someone who I identify as an experiencer, and I identify as a multidimensional experiencer. I've got a lot going on. And I am not only a sign language interpreter, but I am also a certified biofield tuner. I was trained by Eileen McCusick. utilizing tuning forks in the auric field. And I was a licensed massage therapist for a while. I'm also a Reiki master teacher. I don't do a lot of that, but I do that. I do biofield tuning in person and remotely. I do Reiki in person and remotely. And I also run the tech. So initially, I guess you could say that as someone who has been a lifelong experiencer of multiple dimensions, and what I mean by that is that my earliest memories are of being on craft. And I could see trajectories. Um, I am somebody who grew up being well aware of what was happening in the fourth dimension. I could see beings. I can't see them entirely clearly, but as an adult, when my gifts came online and I was doing Reiki and I was doing massage therapy, there were times, not always, but there were times when I would see energetic attachments or I would see traumas. I would get, visions or feelings. Most often the information that I receive, I guess you could say, comes to me in dream time. A lot of it comes to me in dream time. And oftentimes when I'm working with clients, um, information will come to me in the dream anywhere from a week before to the night before I work with folks. Again, this doesn't always happen, and it's not something that I try to do. It's just something that I experience. I don't sit and try to access information about people. It just happens to me and it just comes to me without me attempting to do it. Um, what else can I share with you? I think um,
Sometimes when you're talking, and I think a lot of us are experiencing this. I remember last week when we did the show, we were talking a lot about astrology, and we had a couple of other things that we were talking about last Saturday. And I noticed that sometimes I will just start channeling. It'll just like things start sort of coming to me, and things just start sort of happening. Is that sort of what's going on with you? Like, are you channeling information and it's making its way out to people without you? Because sometimes, I mean, if you're like Bashar and you sort of go out of it, you sort of like set yourself up and you breathe and you do all that kind of stuff, you sort of have a certain process that you follow. But there are a lot
um,
of people that just, me included, just sort of start talking and then you just feel the downloads coming through. I don't know if that's sort of what you're going through.
so the way that I explain that, as somebody who's very leery and cautious of channeling, um, I'm cautious because I have seen what's out there. And I feel like I've spent most of my life battling demons and seeing them. And so I am somebody who is really interested in being conscious and staying conscious and not allowing anything into my body, not allowing anything in that's going to take over.
Okay.
I am very aware and I actually lead groups. I do work with people to try to help folks become more conscious and aware of their brain processes, of their thought process. Because we are such amazing, powerful, divine beings, we don't realize that we are always creating. We're always in the creation process. And when we become unconscious, it means that we're unconsciously creating.
Okay.
So when information comes to me, I experience it as someone who is a precog, right? So claircognizant, sometimes clairaudient, clairvoyant, and it, the experience that I have is very physical and visceral. The information that I get when I get it. When, I was remote viewing for a while, and I realized that I was not interested in being a remote viewer.
Okay.
Because what started happening was that I couldn't shut it off and I would get way too much information. And so I didn't know how to control the information that I was receiving. I didn't know how to discern the really overwhelming stream of information that comes to me. So if somebody is trying to remote view something and they're drawing something, a scene, and they have like a drawing or two or a scene or two, I've got 8 pages of stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
and over the course of the week, those things come up in my life, or they end up overlapping with other people and the stuff that they're experiencing. So I really am not interested in turning myself up that much
Okay.
because I feel like it interferes. And so I do think that that now is a time that many people are waking up and their gifts are coming online.
Yeah.
But I perceive that information, and what I want to encourage people to do is to only invite their own higher self in, right? Our own connection to source, our own future self, our future self. The me in the future is guiding me forward.
Okay.
That I feel like is the most trustworthy. It's never going to lead you astray. It is not going to try to fool you. It is not going to, um, you know, heal you for something else. It's
Okay.
not going to bargain with you. It's not going to, that stuff is in an entirely different realm, and that's not what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I really believe in grounding, in connecting with the planet, being barefoot as much as you can, being filled with gratitude and love and positive thoughts, and catching your thoughts when you're becoming negative or influenced or grumpy. You're still creating when you're grumpy, right?
Yeah,
And
but you're
because,
probably not getting get the best though. That's the only thing.
well, this is the thing about, we've all been creating for a very long time unconsciously.
Mm.
It really is time for all of us to start being more conscious about what kind of world we all want to live in, and how we want to participate in creating the place that we want to live. How do we want to interact in a world, and what kind of world do we want to interact with? Now's the time to be considering that. And then also, I mean, if people are interested in figuring out how to utilize triggers to empower them rather than derail them, and rather than have them be creative and draw to them, because the universe is going to give you what you're focused on,
Yeah.
right? So rather than draw something that you don't really want to you, there are lessons to be learned. There are things to be released. There are it's if you can think of it sort of as a boot camp for your consciousness, for your thought processes, to pay attention to your breath, to pay attention to how you're feeling, to pay attention to your body, because it's a beautiful, beautiful guide. If you're not feeling good, if there's something wrong, your body's telling you that something's wrong. What's going on with your thinking? What are you focused on? What are you drawing to you? Right? So that's sort of where I'm at right now in my life. But that hasn't always been true for me. I think that seeing the things that I could see and having the experiences that I was having that were not always very pleasant when I was growing up, I became a very angry person. And even though overall I was loving, right? Overall, I wasn't running around grumpy, though there are photos of me pretty grumpy, um,
I'm sure you look fine.
especially as a child. Um, um, as an adult, after learning Reiki, after having lots of different types of experiences, having numerous teachers in my life who stepped forward and offered to help, could see what was happening, and the discomfort that I was in, and offered help. Um, when my father in 2017 transitioned, I had a pretty wild series of events that ended up leading me to the Lightfield Foundation, that used to be located in Chester, Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts. And I experienced the light field, and that was a very unique. The light field is a very unique piece of technology. It is really amazing, and like all the conscious technology, a lot of Ross's, all of Ross's tech, the idea is to assist human beings in becoming more conscious and in waking up and creating a beautiful world that we all want to live in.
And it's interesting because you mentioned Ross and all that, and I'm just sort of wondering if maybe you need to, for example, show. Sorry, I'm sort of like half distracted here. If you need to tell us about Ross Newkirk and
Ross and Heather.
Ross and Heather and some of the stuff that they're working on, because it's a lot about what they're doing and
What we're all doing together.
you
Yeah, but
know.
the journey that brought me to the Newkirks started with the light field, and the light field was created. It was the beautiful brainchild, the baby of Ross's dad, Mark Newkirk, and it was through the light field community and through connecting with the Lightfield Foundation, connecting with the Lightfield community, that I met Ross and that I met Heather, and that we all started. I became a part of a community that they had going for quite some time that was really dedicated to helping the planet and the people on the planet awaken. And that's how I met them. And I'm ever so grateful for this family and for what their soul missions are, because I truly believe that a significant amount of my trajectory shifted in a more positive way through utilizing the light field technology and utilizing the quantum flow and utilizing the cohere mat and the core harmonizer.
Okay.
Those things I feel like shifted my trajectory in such a beautiful way. It brought a level of coherence into my life. And even though I was moving towards that, I was already a biofield tuner when I came in touch with them.
Okay.
Already working with frequency. I had been, doing Reiki for quite some time. I was interested in consciousness. I was interested in multidimensional metaphysics for all of my life. And so it was a beautiful kind of merging of a time, not necessarily an awakening, but feeling like I had found a community that was open to what I had to share and to who I was, and was very, very supportive and still is. That's how I came to know the Newkirks and begin working with them. When the light field was still out here, Ross and Heather ended up going to Rhode Island, and they had been talking for a while about starting Awaken, starting a healing center in Rhode Island. And then over the course of some years, I went through training. I became a light field operator. I started working more closely with Ross and Heather. I was learning how to run the tech. We had some of that tech at the light field when I was an operator, and then became scheduler, was scheduling stuff for them for a bit. I was doing that on a volunteer basis. And then things just continued to progress. I also was working with Awaken in its former location in Wakefield, Rhode Island. That's the former location. I wasn't there a whole lot for a very long time before we ended up needing to find another place to be. And what we did, over the course of several months, was find the location that we are in now, that we have been renovating for 2 years.
Okay.
And
It's
so,
a long renovation, eh? 2 years. Wow.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I have to say that I used to work for a spa out here where I'm living, where I have been living for quite some time.
Okay.
And at the beginning of COVID, it was they had a spa for massage, and they had outdoor hot tubs.
Okay.
They burnt down. And maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I ran into the owner, Ken, and he had gotten another place out here. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to open in December of next year."
Okay.
And I was, wow. He was like, do you want to come work for me again? And I was like, well, we'll see where we're at that point in time. He is still renovating, and they still have excavators on the land. Like, since COVID, things have been moving very slowly in the
Yeah.
world of renovation, in the world of trying to move forward. Anyone who's really, I feel like, trying to truly bring gifts to the planet and help us heal and help us relax and help us mend,
Hmm.
there have been a lot of roadblocks. There have been, I mean, when we initially thought that we would be open, maybe 3 to 6 months at the latest after purchasing, that's when we would be open for everything. None of us can believe it has taken us this long.
Well,
None.
also, I mean, if you also look at the politics that's going on in your part of the world, it's kind of gonna be real hard to find people to do those renovations. So the fact that you have Newkirks have some very very dedicated volunteers such as yourself, they're lucky because
And a
without
lot.
the politics, well, I'll get into the politics, but let's be honest, it's going to.
It is, and because we have been closed for 2 years, I mean, almost everything that we've done has been via donation.
Yeah.
So a lot of the work we had to do ourselves. And Ross and Heather are brilliant at their ability to envision and then have their visions come to fruition. They're just gifted, beautiful, beautiful people that I feel like are being led and taken care of by Source because they're here to do the right thing, you know? And so I'm
Yeah.
going to start the slide
Sure.
presentation.
Okay, that's great. So while you're doing that, I just wanted to say that we also have all the links and all the information down below in the description. So if you want to find out more about the Awaken Wholeness Center, you can just click on the link below, and you can find out anything that you want to find out there. And I think we also have some of your information, Ingrid. I'm not sure if people can get in touch with you, but if you
Yeah.
have any questions, you send it off to Ingrid, and she'll answer whatever questions you have. So let's start with the slideshow, shall we?
Yeah. So can you see that?
Yeah,
Are
we
you
can see it.
and I don't have a big gray box blocking the name Awaken
No,
Whole. Okay,
I think you're
fabulous.
going to be dreaming of gray boxes tonight. I think they're going to be chasing you. That's for sure.
So I was hoping to be able to share this to say it's our grand opening, but not quite yet.
Okay.
We are here to whet your appetite, to check us out, and to hopefully, when we have our soft opening, reach out to us. We are still in the process of getting our scheduling up and programmed, and that should be ready within the next few weeks. But yeah, I am here to share with you some photos of the Awaken Wholeness Center in Richmond, Rhode Island, and to share with you how we are featuring conscious technologies.
Okay, great.
So this, here are some photos of the land.
Okay.
So the photo in the center is the photo of the house. Now, we renovated a 10-room farmhouse,
Okay.
and that's what you're seeing. So that house that you're seeing a little bit in the distance there is after driving up the driveway, and right there in my automobile, I have the parking lot behind me, and then kind of the way up to the home, up to our new home, the home of Awaken Wholeness Center. And then there's just you know, some lovely features like our future community garden. We have quite a bit of space, and that is going to happen in the future. It's not happening right now, but that's where it's going to be. We have put in a koi pond with seating that you can see down below on the left-hand side. You can also see the meditation and the outdoor meditation and gathering space that we have, this huge pine tree with seating for between 20 and 30 people can very comfortably sit out there. And the stone wall was built so that we would have comfortable seating. It's absolutely gorgeous. The land is phenomenal. These are some photos of our store. Now, I do want to let you know and remind you that we are still renovating and getting ready. So you're not looking at photos of everything that's ready. You are seeing us in the building process. You are seeing us putting this together.
Okay.
That store used to be a garage. That is a renovated garage. It is now a gorgeous store. And these are just some of the things that we'll be featuring. We'll obviously be featuring Conscious Technologies, as well as a number of rocks and crystals and amazing, phenomenal things. I'm hoping that Ross will sell, you'll see a little bit further on in the slideshow, some of his 3D printed amazing creations. But this is the store. And then moving right along, this is our yoga studio.
Okay.
So our yoga studio is, I think, can comfortably fit about 50 people.
Oh, it's nice.
The sign, the little yoga sign, is one of Ross's creations. And then the dragonfly in the middle, Heather found that. She has such an amazing eye. She's a really great decorator, and she has such an amazing eye. I can't not believe that she found this gorgeous, gorgeous dragonfly stained glass that's hanging on the door. And you can see that, we've got scaffolding up in there doing our cleaning, washing and oiling all the wood. The ceiling.
Do I see water in there, like behind the like?
No,
Is that
no.
a pool? No.
Nope. That is, I think, it's a rug that we have down because
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, just like
this,
the weird kind of like weird, like the reflection on the rug looks like it's some sort of like dipping pool or
it is.
something. Yeah.
It is. You also might be picking up on the fact that that used to be, I think, an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay, there you
In
go. Speaking of channeling.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But there I have you can see the ladder and see how high the ceiling is, but
Yeah.
that room was jam-packed full of all of the furniture and all of the things that we've been finding along the way. And that was the room that we stored it in while the rest of the facilities were being renovated. So we finally have it empty. And now that it's empty, Marika has been amazing with her fabulous cleaning supplies. She makes all of these all natural cleaning supplies. And she has more energy than I even can comprehend or know what to do with. But she's been furiously cleaning in there for, it feels like weeks, as we continue to get everything in its place and finish up the rooms. This next slide, you get to see one of Ross's 3D creations. You can also see some of the practitioner rooms and our new 3-person sauna. And then we have a shower room that's attached to the sauna. So dry sauna and then the shower right next to that. And you can see some of the practitioner rooms. There's a smaller room up on the second floor in the middle there, and then the room on the bottom is the Sri Yantra room. That's the room that I'm going to be doing biofield tunings in.
Oh.
It's not just my room. We're sharing. Most of us are kind of stationary, but we're also sharing those spaces and sharing the rooms.
So it looks like you have quite a bit of quite a bit of space there, and it sort of seems that it would be a great place. Well, of course, I'm going to come down once it's done, of course, you
Yeah.
know, but it definitely looks like you have. It would make a great place to have like a conference or, you know, Gaia, that kind of thing. Gaia has like some of their conferences, and you have like guest
Yeah.
speakers and all that.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of cozy. Like it's a nice farmhouse, but it looks so cozy. Wow.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
So that's absolutely what we are planning.
Yeah.
Um, Down the bottom in the middle, you see our classroom, and we can probably fit, I think, about 20 people in there pretty
Yeah.
comfortably. Into our classroom, we're going to be offering classroom workshops and classes for people pretty regularly. We'll be having guest lecturers come in. If we need a larger space, we can utilize the yoga room. But that's the classroom. And then if you're in the classroom and you're looking out, that photo on the right, you
Okay.
can see down the hall, and you can see that painting on the other end that I think is so gorgeous. That's by Frida Morin. Um,
For example, you could have like events outside because you could have like a lot of people
yeah,
outside and do that.
yeah,
That looks really,
absolutely.
really cool. I love what I'm looking at.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Absolutely. So that large room in the middle is our main waiting room, and then most of the practitioner rooms are behind it. So to the left is where the Sri Yantra room is, and then we have our staff kitchen, and then upstairs there are rooms up on the second floor, and we also actually have an old lift. So it's accessible. It's wheelchair accessible. We have a lift to bring folks up to the second floor, which I'm really excited about. And then when you come in the main room, that's the first picture that you're seeing on the left. When you come in the main door, yes, yes. So there's the seat of life um that you see on the wall there. And on the left is where our receptionist Peggy will be. Um, and then where you see the trash cans, um, that one of the main trash can that you can see over there is right in front of the lift, and then to the left of that is a restroom. But this is a bunch of the first floor. And then here are our tech rooms.
Wow.
So I'll leave this up for a little bit. So if
Hmm.
you want to read about the quantum flow, that's right there. But you can see our quantum flow is set up and in one of the main rooms upstairs, in the tech room, it's set up. And there's a small section of the hall where we have the quantum flow across the hall. You see over on the right, the upper right, is the core harmonizer room. And again, all of this is Heather just making everything look absolutely amazing. That's an amazing job. All of those rooms are new. Though all of those rooms were put in. They were larger rooms that were open. It was a private home.
Wow.
And so we've just done so much renovation, and just the folks who were working on that just did such an amazing job.
Now, I do know that you have in there the quantum flow, and we
Yes.
can read it. But can you
Yep.
sort of give us a little bit more information about the quantum flow and then also the harmonizer? Because again, as I said, we have a lot of new members here tonight, and
Yeah.
I'm familiar with
Sure.
it. But just sort of give us a little bit more background as to the quantum flow and the harmonizer, if you could.
Sure. So if you remember me talking about the light field technology
Yeah.
earlier, it was created by Mark Newkirk. The what you're looking at, the quantum flow, its original iteration was called the flow. It was called flow technology, FLO, flow technology, and that was created by Mark and a few other engineers that he was working with. Years back before the light field was created. And they created the flow unit. And the idea behind not just flow, but also light field and all of conscious tech is that what's utilized, none of the technology does anything to you. That's really important to remember. They're not machines doing something to you. They are units, conscious units that are holding space, coherent space. And when you enter the field of coherent space that they are holding for you, they're all doing something a little bit different. Okay.
Okay.
So the light field, which is taking up an entire room, and it's that big globe. I wish I had taken a picture of it. I haven't. But the light field is also on the premises, although the light field isn't fully put back together yet. We will do that for the grand opening, but it's not going to be done in time for our soft opening.
Okay.
So the technology utilizes principles of quantum and plasma physics. So they're embedding the field around you, the space around you, with specific frequencies, harmonies, like the frequency of love, the frequency of harmony. It's creating a field of coherence. So when our bodies enter those fields of coherence, we naturally relax. We begin to let go and relax. And when we're in that state of relaxation, that's when we do the magic. That's when we are creating according to our highest possible potential.
Okay.
We were not designed to live in a world that is as stressful as the world that we are shifting out of right now. Um, we have been struggling for so hard for so long. We're coming out of a world that utilized our unconsciousness to create more incoherence. And so when our bodies are not stressed, when we are in states of relaxation, which is why meditation is so important and so helpful to you, to everyone, it's because when we're in those deep states of relaxation, that's when the magic happens. That's when all of the things that we want, if we utilize those times that we're that deeply relaxed and that in a state of coherence, think about the things that we most want. Think about the things that make our hearts sing. Amazing things happen. The universe meets us very quickly to help bring those things into fruition. The technology is designed so that the things that you are bringing in that higher heightened state of coherence, what you're bringing into fruition is for everyone's benefit, right? It's not going to do something that makes the things that are driving individuals based on ego is not what this tech is designed to help bring into fruition. Now, if that thing that, pumps your ego is also the thing that is going to help you and everyone around you move forward more coherently, move forward more harmoniously, move forward more lovingly. That's what it's going to help bring to fruition. So each piece
Um,
of tech.
let's sort of see your face for a minute. It'd be nice to sort of see you again for a minute.
Okay.
But so what's interesting about this is that this is a center, and so I know that there's going to be a lot of healing being done there. But is there, for example, like I said, I think that would be a great place to have events and stuff like that. Are you going to be having events? And also, what is it going to be? Is it going to be sort of like more like a center where people can sort of just, drive up and say, you know what, I'm, it's like kind of going to a spa? Or is it something you have to always go to in only when there's an event sort of thing, you know?
So we're going to be open daily, right? We'll be open 5 days a week. And we will, so that people can access the practitioners there and the technology that's there. That's going to be sort of available for people to utilize in person and also some of the tech remotely. A lot of us do remote work as well. That can be utilized no matter where you are. It can be utilized from anywhere in the world. So the sessions in the quantum flow, the sessions in the light field, those are worldwide. We also will have special workshops and classes available for people who are more local. At this point, we don't have the facilities to allow people to come and spend the weekend or spend a few days on the land. We just don't have that capability right now. In the future, who knows? We have a garden space. We have, I have this kind of like, I want to get some land next door to it. We need to have like a juice bar and offer like homemade organic pastry and homemade organic and you know and things of that nature, and just this idea of like, oh my gosh, we got to find this really big like place where we can put up 20 people for the weekend or for a week to come and spend a few days there. And we will be having visiting lecturers, guest lecturers coming and doing events there, but they're not yet going to be designed, I don't think, because we don't have the facilities, although we're pretty close to the highway. It's a gorgeous farmland, but we're like 15 minutes from I-95 in Rhode Island, where it's not that far, away from people, that it isn't convenient to get to. It is very convenient to get to, and we're on Route 138. So that is a route that a lot of people take during the day. It's really, really well known in the Rhode Island area, and the surrounding states as well are really familiar with the area. The University of Rhode Island is also, 95. We're in between 95 and the University of Rhode Island. So pretty close, and that's we'll see what happens down the road, but
Okay.
I think I only have like one or two more slides left.
Okay, sure. Well, we'll talk. We'll get to it. No problem. I'll let you get back to that. But you know what though? It is kind of interesting because it means that and the way I'm sort of looking at it, maybe I'm sort of looking at it differently, but I could totally see how this could be a great place. Like if you had, I mean, obviously in the future it'll happen, but I mean, if you had sort of like, for example, a place where people could stay, I mean, I could just totally see like, weekend
Yeah,
retreats and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff. And
yeah.
all this vegetarian cooking and,
Where the house, where the house is, where the facility is, on one side, we have like behind us, we have the parking lot.
okay.
But on one side of us, we have what is going to be the future community garden, we hope. On the other side of us, we have this huge field. And we have a bunch of fruit trees. We have lots of plants. We have you saw the koi pond. We're hoping that folks utilize the space as well, because it's just so beautiful to have weddings,
Oh,
to
that
have
would be nice. Can you imagine sort of like somebody having like a real kind of conscious
yes.
wedding? Oh my God, that would be just be
Camping out.
so beautiful.
I am
Oh,
envisioning
oh
I am
wow.
envisioning bringing tents. Like that's where my mind goes. We're not at a point where we can do that yet, but there's so much potential for things down the road.
If we could see you again. But I do have a question here from Jimmy Chunga, and he does ask an important question, and he says, curious to how affordable of pricing are we talking about? I mean, or maybe it's just too early because I think you're still sort of trying to figure stuff out. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that the prices are all set. Um, I don't know those prices off the top of my head, but we're not in existence to make a profit off of people being incoherent and needing help in their lives. All of the practitioners, including Ross and Heather, are interested in people being able to afford to come regularly, to come for more than a session, right? It's not like, the channelers that charge $500 to spend an hour with them. That is
Yeah,
not
no.
what they're interested in at all. I think that the technology is very reasonably priced. I want to say, depending on what you're doing, we offer things that, like, there's a one of the things that we offer, we call a trifecta. And what that means is that, people will come in, like a group of three will come in and, three friends or, three in a family, and they'll come in and they'll take turns. And one person will, go in the quantum flow. Another person will go on the meditation mat, the Cohere meditation mat. And another person will go and meditate with the core harmonizer. And then when their sessions are complete, they'll all switch. So they get all three technologies in the same day while they're all there together. We additionally now have the sauna and the shower. We're also going to be having now a couple of the rooms. I was not able to show because they're not complete yet. We also have the light field that's going to be there. We're going to have a room for the B box, which is a new tech that Ross will be showcasing. That isn't ready yet. Well, the room isn't ready yet. It's still full of stuff that we're transforming. We're also creating a shungite room for meditation, for deep meditation. People will be able to come and utilize multiple pieces within a day without breaking the bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? It's interesting. I think it's definitely about what is reasonable, and I totally get that. And what I actually have an interesting question here from Angela. Angela, who is part of our original group, and she's saying, are there any centers in Canada? Now, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have centers in Canada, but I'm wondering, for those of us who are in Canada and want to take part, would you have, like, for example, like remote types of healings or stuff like that you could use? Maybe you could tell us about that.
Yeah, so the quantum flow and the light field are available for remote sessions. I also do remote biofield tuning. Heather does remote intuitive sessions. A number of our practitioners they offer remotely as well. It's not just you don't just have to come in person. So we really can work with folks anywhere. And we were doing that when we were open before, both the light field itself when it was in Western Massachusetts and the quantum flow in Wakefield, Rhode Island. We were running remote sessions. I mean, I ran sessions for people in Europe. I ran sessions for people. I want to say Canada, but I don't remember where. But yeah, we had sessions. We had people
in Ontario, maybe, or
having remote sessions from all over.
Yeah. Okay, great. And I mean, I know it's a little bit early because you're still sort of trying to work things out, but if somebody wanted to be, for example, a part of your team or wanted to do stuff remotely, that could be kind of interesting. Would that be sort of like a possibility down the line?
I don't see why not. People are more than welcome to reach out to Heather if they feel like they want to be, if they want to be connected to us. Heather, I know for the last several months has been going over resumes, meeting people in person. We've all been meeting folks who are going to come in. Many of us that are there are people who have known each other for a long time. I don't imagine it will, I mean, I imagine that in order for people to utilize and run the tech, they have to be familiar with the technology.
Okay.
So, but if people just wanted to come in and be a practitioner who was not running the tech, they can absolutely reach out to Heather and send a resume along if they'd like.
Okay, great. That would be great because I know that we have a lot of people, especially a lot of members who do a lot of work. And I know someone, for example, like Angela is extremely talented and she has so many talents and so many gifts. And someone like that, maybe they could also, if possible, work with the center. But I know that at one point when we were talking last time, we were saying that hopefully in the near future that they could see themselves coming to Canada, especially working with the core harmonizer. And I know that we talked a lot about the core harmonizer last time. Did you want to sort of go over the core harmonizer for people who are new and for some
Sure.
of our new members?
Sure. So all of Ross's technology can be purchased. And he has, I know that he has sent core harmonizers to Australia. I know that he has sent them to different places in the world. They can be purchased and sent to wherever you want them. The core harmonizers, if I could just go back to the slideshow for just
Yeah,
a second,
sure.
in the so up in the right hand corner, up here, I don't know if you can see the
Yeah.
cursor, but that's a core harmonizer.
Okay.
And the core harmonizer, like all of the tech, the way that it creates those fields of coherence, the way that the tech utilizes um, specific elements to create that level of coherence have to do with light frequency, sound frequency, and geometric frequency. And so they're all utilizing different frequencies, slightly tweaked for different outcomes. So the light field and the quantum flow, although the tech is working with your higher self for you to be your creator, they're also de-stressing technologies. They're there to help you de-stress. And when you are not stressed, that's when you're doing the magic. It's they're really holding space for you. The blah, 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 getting tongue-tied here. The core harmonizer, that little thing that I say is kind of like an R2D2 made out of wood. Um, that uses so the core harmonizer was initially made for homes and businesses to bring a sense of love and bring a sense of harmony into the space. The last time I spoke about conscious tech, I think I shared that when I first moved into the home that I'm in, I rented a core harmonizer because I didn't own one yet. I rented a core harmonizer and I rented it for a few weeks, and that is only done if you're local. He doesn't rent them out other places in the world. If you're local, if we can drive to you within a couple hours, we can get you a core harmonizer for rent. But I had rented it, and I just let it run for 2 solid weeks, really, before I moved anything into the house. And I invited a bunch of people over. And because I'm a sign language interpreter and many of my at the time close friends were deaf and interpreters, the folks who came over, many of them were deaf. And initially, when I introduced them to the core harmonizer, there was a little bit of a resistance because of the word harmonizer. Many of, one deaf woman in particular was like, harmonizer, oh, that's music, that's for people who can hear. And I said, no, actually, that's not what it's for. Can you just sit with it and put your hands on it? And she was like, you want me to touch it? Why, you want me to feel the vibration? And I said, yeah, kinda. So she put her hands on, and she left her hands on for a little bit. And I, walked around and I was showing other people, I was giving tours because I had a number of people here. And I came back in, and she was like, this is unbelievable. And she had said to me, she was a deaf woman who used to, she probably still does, clear houses. And she let me know that she wasn't very excited
Okay.
that I had moved into an old Victorian, because usually she couldn't come into homes this old without clearing them first. But she was baffled because when she walked up on the porch, she was like, the energy here feels new. Why does this feel like a new house? Is what she asked me. And so so she had her hands on the core harmonizer, and then I gave her a tour, and there are 3 floors in this home. And I brought her up to the 3rd floor. We were up in the turret in the attic. And she stopped and she said, hey, can you hear that thing up here? And I said, the car harmonizer? No, why? And she said, because I can feel it. And I said,
Oh,
yeah, I know. I can feel it when I drive up to the house, when I drive into the driveway.
okay.
I absolutely can feel it. And she was like, you seriously can't hear that up here. It's not playing loud music. And I said, no, you can't hear it. I mean, you can turn it up louder, but it's not designed to be a boombox. designed to bring harmony and peace into the room and into the building. And I feel like the longer it's running, the wider that field of coherence gets. Now,
Okay.
I kid you not. People walk by my house all the time, and there are a lot of people who walk dogs in my neighborhood. And every time I am out there, people will walk by. I can even see them from inside the house. People will walk by, and there's something about the house that draws their attention. I
Oh.
think people can feel the core harmonizer. Um, so they're designed for homes and for businesses. Lots of healing centers are interested in them, will purchase them to share with their clients. I know a friend of mine who is a massage therapist and also does energy clearings. He clears energetic attachments.
Okay.
He clears spaces and homes, and he purchased a core harmonizer because he says that it amped his power unbelievably, and he actually brings them when he does house clearings. He will bring the core harmonizer with him. um he also has purchased a cohere mat that you can see on the bottom,
Okay.
um because that in and of itself, he feels like he gets to actually he has two rooms in where he does sessions, and in one room he has the cohere mat, and then the other room he has his massage table, and he feels like his team is in there. He says his team is in there and everybody's getting worked on simultaneously, and he gets information about what's in the next room
Okay.
as clearing people that he's got his hands on. So he can't speak highly enough about the both of the pieces of technology, and I would agree that they're amazing. The cohere meditation mat is so beautiful and grounding. It actually helps move the density and the trauma out of the body, the stuff that you need to release. If you're somebody that holds on to stuff,
Mm-hmm.
if you're somebody that has a hard time letting go, the cohere meditation mat is amazing. So you lay on that mat and you can see the metallic material.
Mm-hmm. And that's in the bottom right hand
Yes,
picture. Is that it?
the bottom right hand corner,
Okay.
correct. So you're laying down on the tech, and you have your hands and your feet. You take your shoes off, right? And so you've got your feet and your socks, and you're on the metallic material, and then there's a headset that you're listening to music. And while the mat's running, while your session is moving on, it's almost like a clearing happens from the top down. And the metallic material is designed to help release what needs to come out. And sometimes people have emotional releases. Sometimes, most of the time, they're slight. I myself, whenever I'm on the mat, I have energetic releases. And so, when you're falling asleep and your legs will jump, when you have those kind of energetic releases, I go through that big time when I'm on the mat. Those are the kinds of releases that I will have.
Okay.
But everybody experiences the tech a little bit differently. It works, it meets people where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
all of the tech is very gentle, it's
mm-hmm.
very loving. It kind of leaves you with a warm and fuzzy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Just beautiful. And I feel so lucky and honored to be able to work with Ross and Heather and Marika, and all the folks that are going to be joining us working out of Awaken. I'm super excited. The little bee on the bottom
Mm-hmm.
because another room that we're going to have is called the bee box.
Okay.
Uh, it's a tech that Ross has created that I haven't seen yet, actually. I've just been hearing about it. But it's utilizing the sound of bees, because that has been proven. It's being utilized by people all around the world because the sound of bees, the frequency that bees create, is incredibly healing.
Okay.
So that's what the bee box room is going to offer for folks. And then aside from the tech that you see in the photos, we'll have that bee box room. We'll have the shungite room, and then we'll also have the light field technology available for folks.
Okay, great. Well, we'd love to see you again. And
Well, if I could
so, yeah.
if I could,
And
if I could just kind of Sorry, Heather.
Oh,
Crystal, apologies.
no
If I
worries.
could share, this is the last slide.
Okay, sure.
I just wanted to share this message
Mm-hmm.
from the team at Awaken.
Okay.
So we look forward to meeting and welcoming you, your family, your friends, to our conscious community so that we can all level up, empower, and heal ourselves and all the beings in, on, and around our beautiful planet, harmonizing the world together. We're very, very much looking forward to opening and meeting people. We look forward to being able to share the tech with you. I'm just going to leave this up for just another moment so that
Yeah,
if any
sure.
copy this down.
Mm-hmm.
And you also, for folks who are in your community, you've shared that, but after this, maybe you can also, after when you post the YouTube live,
Yeah,
you can share those links down below the video.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I do. Why do I feel like we do already? Because I know that we have some of that, but I'll check. But people can also do a screenshot. But I definitely am going to make sure that we have that information down below. Now,
Right.
I do have an interesting question here,
Okay.
and I have a comment here from Jimmy Chunga who says, "I'm really looking forward to checking this out. My spiritual awakening is really new and very confusing." So it's kind of like what we were saying before. A lot of people are starting to come online, as it were. And
Yes.
Jimmy, you are one of many people who are having these experiences. And I think this is the reason why the Awaken Center is so crucial right now, is because it's going to help people to sort of, transition from the 3D matrix over to a much more lighter,
Yeah.
energetic level. Did you want to comment on that? Yeah.
Yes. Well, first, I want to just let you know that I earlier texted Ross and Heather just to say, can you tell me how much a quantum flow session is? Because I believe Jimmy asked earlier, a quantum flow session is going to be $80.
Okay. Well, that's affordable. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's reasonable. Definitely.
Yep.
It's in line with what people are charging for other stuff. So why not? But
Yeah.
going back to what Jimmy was saying about feeling confused and a little bit sort of, a lot of people are starting to feel a little bit wonky. They're getting their legs, they're starting to just sort of, exercise and stretch their legs. What do you feel the Awaken Center can do for people like Jimmy who are getting their legs, being able to stand up on them and get sturdy with what's happening?
Well, I feel like this is what we exist for. We all want to be able to assist as many people as we can during the transition that we're in. The Schumann resonance has been off the charts increasingly. It's been so wonky and the frequencies have been so high. There are some people saying that the Schumann is no longer 8.74 or 8, whatever the number is. I can never remember the exact number, but that it's so much higher right now that it's averaging 20 hertz.
Wow.
That's incredibly high. And if you're somebody who monitors that, you can see that in the apps, you can see that in the charts. But if you're not somebody who monitors that, you can feel it, right? You can feel the tension, you can feel the anxiety, you can feel the confusion, you can feel the all of a sudden, I can't remember anything. Why can I not remember anything? Why am I so sleepy? Why am I so exhausted? Why do I have
Wow.
why are my bones aching? Why do my teeth ache?
Yeah,
What's
really.
wrong with my body? Like just random bizarre aches and pains.
Absolutely.
Memories are coming through. People are suddenly remembering past lives. People are suddenly remembering stuff from their childhood. People are being given, I believe, there's a lot of hard stuff that's happening. There's a lot of tragedy that's happening in the world. I don't think that there's necessarily more tragedy happening on the world now, but we're aware of it more now.
Exactly. And we're also feeling it too, because I think what's happening as well is
Yeah.
that before it was very easy to sort of just walk on by and say, okay, whatever, and all that kind of stuff because people were really sort of stuck in the 3D. But now, with all of our abilities coming up online, we're going to be able to feel it. We're going to be able to have our clair sentience and our clair audience and to understand it in a way that we'd never been able to understand it before. So we're like, why are we
Yeah.
feeling it? You know. And
Yeah.
so I think that that's a big thing for people. And if you're not aware, like, I mean, it's great if you're here, like someone like Jimmy, Angela, you know, everybody who are here and who are taking part and have found this group. But for everybody else who's just sort of Joe Blow, this
Yeah.
is kind of crazy when you see your body acting in such a way. Especially with all the fatigue. I mean, everybody I know is fatigued. I am so tired. Oh my
Yes.
God. It's crazy. And the
Collective
bones and the aching, help me out.
collective PTSD.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so first of all, let me just say that we will be offering a number of practitioners who are here to help with this transition, with the things that people are going through, not because we are healing anyone, but because we are here to help people remember how to heal themselves. We are offering them the ability to become more conscious and to learn how to utilize their strengths, right? Some of the tech and some of the practitioners are helping people get into that calm place, get into that more coherent place, push a pause button on the stress, be able to come out of it a teeny bit, to be able to understand it from another perspective, to give you the tools to be able to navigate it, not in such a way that overwhelms and scares you, but potentially excites you and gives you the tools to be able to figure out how to navigate it and really figure out what you're here for. If up to this point in your life, everything around you has told you that the solutions are outside of you, that you have to take that thing to do that thing, and everything is about the gurus on the outside, that's not what we're about. We're about helping you connect with your own higher self, with the consciousness of the cosmos, with God, with however you perceive the intelligence of the universe, to reconnect with that. And you do that by going within. And so a number of us are dedicated to assisting people from a variety of different ways. Not everything works for everybody, right? Some might be a little bit more wanting to use tuning forks. If somebody else is going to be more interested in, understanding, working with somebody who is able to see stuff about their life, and it's more about, psychic assistance.
Okay.
Other people are just really interested in the tech and just don't want to talk. They just want to use the tech, and that's fine because they're doing that for themselves. But the staff there is designed to assist and help offer options, tools, techniques. We're going to be, like I said, having workshops and offering classes to talk about this kind of stuff, to get people used to, shifting out of the way that things have been up to this point with solutions outside of us. We're looking at the solutions within us that really truly empower us so that we're all embodying our divine selves in the way that we were created by a creator, live life. It's not what we have been living for a very long time on this planet.
No.
And so many of us here that are so excited to see this shift in humanity, to up level, to find joy, to find gratitude and satisfaction and excitement about why you're here and what you can do. We're all here for different reasons.
Yeah.
And finding out what those reasons are in a way that empowers more people. In the next 20 to 50 years, we have a lot of cleanup to do. We have a lot of cleanup, body, mind, and soul, with the
Yeah.
physical body, with the programming and the unconsciousness. We have a lot to unlearn, and it's going to take a few years, right? It's going to take a
Yeah.
little bit. But the more coherent we can get, the more grounded we can get, the more we can begin to understand. I mean, just a couple days ago, was it yesterday? I was listening to a short video that folks in a chat that I'm in were sharing, and it was a clip, a Alex Collier clip, where he was sharing, lots of people who have NDEs, near death experiences, when they come back, they are able to map. It's he calls it, what is it? It's called the Blue Brain Project.
Okay.
If you look up the Blue Brain Project, they are doing mapping about the multidimensional structures that exist within our brains.
Okay.
So we have the capability, and people have different kinds of capabilities, right? Some people have the capability, what he was saying is to comprehend the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions. Other people are having near-death experiences and coming back with information about seven, eight, and ninth dimensions. Some people have up to 12-dimensional landscapes, abilities within their brains that can be mapped with technology that we already have to comprehend. We wouldn't, and Alex says about this, that we wouldn't have those structures unless we understood that there was already a part of us anchored in those dimensions. That is a part of us. You can tap into your other dimensional selves, not somebody outside of you, right? In the way that if you think about it as a past life or a future life, is connected to you and can share information with you. That's you. That's you going back to source. That's not some other being outside of you coming in. That's you accessing your divinity to comprehend what you're doing here and why you're here, to empower you to really help us in this transition. Lots of people are saying the graphs on the Schumann, those anomalies are representative of the fifth dimension. That we're actually seeing that in the specific resonance that we're holding more and more of. I think initially when you start to wake up, if you haven't deprogrammed yourself, if you're still reacting from fear, reacting from anger, if that's most of your life is frustration and anger and triggers, and then you have some work to do.
Yeah, but
you're not alone. Thousands of people are going through it at the same time.
Absolutely.
And many of us have spent our lives navigating that so that we could be helpful to assist the rest of us going through the shift. Going through this transition. There are so many amazing things happening right now, and technologies that are coming out and coming to the forefront. It's quite exciting.
Absolutely.
There's so much to do. There's so much excitement. We're really now beginning to remember a place of consciousness, the things that excite us, right? Utilizing that energy to create the world we want is what we're all about.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that a couple of points there is that I think a lot of people, and I think that, and look, this is nothing wrong with different types of religion, because people have grown with different faiths, and so we're not sort of poo-pooing different religions. But I think, for example, in the West, this is the reason why, for example, we have an issue with a lot of people not going to church as much, or this and that sort of thing, because people are realizing that they do not want to go through an intermediary. They don't want to go through the same sort of patriarchal type of control situation where they had to sort of look to an external source to sort of find healing. And I think that at some level, I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I think that most people are realizing, they're saying, look, I don't need to go through some sort of guru. Look, if you can speak with a guru and get some sort of, guidance here and there, that's fine. But to completely, base your life on what other people say and not thinking for yourself and not, taking charge of your own life, I think those days are over. I think that sort of went out with the 60s. People are just sort of no, we're not doing that anymore. I think that's one,
dogma, the dogma.
The dogma.
Is an end.
Yeah. A lot of people they're over that. They're over it.
The realization that God is more amazing than any human that has put the limits on a potential creator is. We are realizing how much more amazing, and I think we're shifting from that dogmatic power over control scheme
Absolutely.
into understanding that
Mm-hmm.
all of us are always, and we always have been connected to source. We
Well, we
always
are all divine, though, you know?
are. We always have been connected to the
Yeah.
creator. And it's just the parts of us that have forgotten that,
Mm-hmm.
that have needed to take things away, to
Mm-hmm.
take life force, to enforce power over because they haven't understood their direct connection to source.
Mm-hmm.
As more people understand their direct connection to source, that's when we all become the Christ like, right?
Exactly.
Thing that Yeshua was attempting, I think, right?
Yeah.
This is me, Ingrid.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that the teachings that he was trying to get people to open up to
Mm-hmm.
was to be, he was a way shower. He was asking us to comprehend
Mm-hmm.
how amazing life is when we're loving.
Yeah.
How amazing, what an amazing potential we have for creation
Mm-hmm.
when we're in a place of love,
Mm-hmm.
when we're in a place of compassion. And that's the remembrance that I think so many people are waking up to right now.
Absolutely.
Really, really
Absolutely.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
quite.
And you know, the thing is that you brought up that that interesting example with Yeshua. I think that, you know, sometimes, you know, you can't rush an idea whose time hasn't come. And I think that at the time, some people understood, but I think people were not ready yet. I think it was a very, very different time, obviously 2000 years ago. I think people just weren't ready, but I think now we're really sort of like, yeah, I get it now. Yeah, you know, I'm a part of the divine. The divine was within me as well. And you know what, Ingrid, the divine is a part of you too, because your shirt is turning into the galaxy. So you're part of the divine as well. I'm just joking there. But I also wanted to sort of go over. Angela had an interesting question. She said, "What are the main differences between the coherence rooms, facilities, and the med beds?" I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I think big difference. First of all, that med bed technology is created by off-worlders. That's what their inspiration is. The technology that we have is not, they're not med beds. Not according to the way that I comprehend med beds. We're not able to, how do I say this? All of our tech is made with wood.
No, but you know what that is though? It's because,
Geometry,
you know,
light.
it's because it's warm, and it's life giving, and it's nothing to say that, you know, med beds can't be, you know, can help, but I
I mean, I
think
think
that
the same principles. I think if humans were going to try to create med beds,
yeah.
maybe that's what you could. Humans who are not working with ETs or
Mm-hmm.
working with E T technology that's being modeled for us,
Mm-hmm.
that's not, though inspired by,
Mm-hmm.
I think, a similar universal intention,
Yeah,
is wholeness and healing and coherence.
but I see
And
that's the
understanding
difference
our
though.
divinity. That's the difference
That's
and the similarity.
Yeah, but you know what though? If I made sort of out of two cents on that one though, is that I think the difference between what you're doing at the Awaken Wholeness Center as opposed to, let's say, the med beds which are being produced by the Galactics. Now I often refer to Bashar because he's someone that I really like. But Bashar often talks about how as humans we're at a crossroads in our humanity, in a sense that we have to choose between whether we want to go full tech or whether we want to still maintain our humanity. And the way I see med beds, and this is just my own personal opinion as Crystal, but the way I see the med beds is that a very, very straight technology, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the technology. It's similar to saying, well, you can, you know, see a doctor and you can get all these prescription drugs, or you can use herbs. And herbs are alive plants, and they're alive, and they're going to give you similar and better healing than, let's say, some of the pills with all the side effects. And I feel that a lot of the work that you're doing at the Wholeness Center is more of a spirit based, and not religious, but more sort of like it brings in the divine and allows us to work with divine power, whereas the med bed is just straight up tech, like you know, like prescription pills. I don't know if you want to, if I'm off base or something. I don't know.
So I don't think you're off base at all. I think that, it's we're not claiming to have med beds. That's not where any of us are coming from with the technology that Ross is creating. Now, is Ross's technology several thousand years in the future? Is that where med beds come in, utilizing the same principles of light, frequency, and geometry? Yeah, it's the similar inspiration, but literally coming out of the third dimension, right? Helping us to come out of the third dimension to level us up, not a huge leap forward, but the tech, first of all, that the galactics are utilizing for med beds, if I comprehend it in the best of my ability, is based on free energy.
Okay.
And because it's based off of free energy, frill, the energy in the air, the energy in the ethers, the beyond the quantum, this is plasma physics, right? This information fields, which is what light field is based on, what the quantum flow is based on, information field tech. This idea that all possibilities exist in the 0 point. And energy, the energy that Tesla talked about, that free energy is what is being utilized in the galactic technology beds.
Yeah.
There are different types of beds. There are different species creating different kinds of beds with different intentions. What's important to remember is that if people are charging you for a med bed, it's probably not a galactic med bed. It's not, the med beds are not designed to be profited off of. They are designed to help clear all the chemicals and toxins and poisons that we have been inundated with for generations. It's designed to clear the field. But as my understanding is that that's not going to happen for a number of years for the average person. The folks that are utilizing that technology at the present are military, and the children that are being rescued. The folks that need it most, who have been fighting for us in, on, and around our planet, and have been harmed in body, mind, and spirit because of how hard they have been fighting to free humanity. These are the people that are getting access to that technology first. Children that are being rescued are getting access to that technology first.
Okay.
If that will come down, there will be, again, this is the way that it's been explained in such a way that I understand.
Okay.
There will be centers where the average person will be able to utilize that, but that's not going to happen immediately. In addition to the fact that what is being said about those pieces of technology are that they can help clear, but if you haven't cleared yourself, like I recently, there was a video recently that Alex Collier was sharing this information, and I remember him saying something to the effect of, if you have a belief about yourself that keeps you sick, the med bed isn't going to fix that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You will cause a deterioration in what it fixes immediately because you haven't changed your habits.
Exactly.
If you want to heal, if you want change, you must change.
Exactly.
You must become conscious. You must become aware of what caused the issue in the first place, right? You have to be aware of the ways that you are feeding your body, mind, and spirit with your thoughts, with what you put in your body, with how you treat your body. Do you love yourself? Or do you believe that there's something wrong with you and that you're ill? Because that is something that you are programming. Every cell in your body listens to you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that people don't really realize. I know I've said in the past on this show is that one of the healing modalities that I really enjoy is the emotion code, body code by what's his name there, Bradley. I can't remember his name, but he talks about how, if they've worked on people where they've cured their cancer and it's great, and then 6 months later they come back and the cancer's still there, and they're like, "But what's going on?" And it turns out that there was this one story where the guy was angry at his wife because she took off with some other guy. Well, And he said that, yeah, I'm over it. But it turned out that he wasn't over it. And because he wasn't over it, he was still so angry and so upset by the situation that even though they took out the cancer, even with like straight surgery, and he also did like, a whole bunch of work on himself spiritually, the fact that he was still angry, the cancer came back. And it's only when he really was confronted and said, look, yeah, what your wife did was horrible, but like, I mean, if you don't confront it, you're going to continue to get cancer, and that's going to be the end of it. So there's always been a lot of people who have been, there are many examples of that, of people who are not, willing to make the change. And I think that that's also one of the things that's different between, let's say, modern medicine and, let's say, a more holistic approach. Modern medicine, people don't, they absolve responsibility. They don't want to take the responsibility for their life and for their health, because you have people that go into the hospital and say, yeah, I'm going to change, and they go back to smoking a pack a day.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I used to say all the time, no matter how fast I run, I can't get away from myself.
Yeah.
Deprogramming. If you have not deprogrammed and you are waking up and you're in, bless those people who are having this happen in their early 20s or their teenage years. Because if you're not waking up until you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, there's a lot of programming and deprogramming that needs to happen. And we need to be gentle and loving with ourselves to comprehend what we are trying to heal. It is not, there are very few people who have the wherewithal to heal themselves like that. It can happen. I don't know if you're familiar with the story of Miracle King, but look up Miracle King. That's an amazing story. There are lots and lots and lots of people who have healed themselves of amazing things. Joe Dispenza. I
Yeah.
mean, so many people who have sort of like cracked the code, but and have been trying to help people get it. But there are some people who just need to wake up by themselves. They
Yeah.
have to go through hard times to wake up, to be able to help themselves and help people. There's so much transition. Woohoo! You okay?
Yeah. Yeah. There we are.
There's so much that transition just manifested. There's so much transition, and I think that, you know, between now and when you actually get your body in a med bed, if that's what you believe will cure you, how are you going to deprogram yourself? How are you going to learn how to work with your own thoughts? How are you going to learn how to work with the way that you treat your body and the way that you treat others? This is not something, I don't think, that's going to happen overnight for the majority of people on this planet. The majority of people on this planet, change isn't that quick. We have to, like, some people say it takes like 3 weeks to deprogram and stop one particular thing. You have to do it for like 21 days for it to become a habit, for you to actually see change. And then you have to continue to engage and apply and not backslide. So many people are backsliding, and it's not because we're bad people. It's because we have spent so many decades being programmed to be fixed with a pill, to be cured with a thing, to have a like, and even though I'm not saying that those things are wrong, because if that's what you and your consciousness are desiring to help you, if you believe that can help you, it can probably help you.
Absolutely.
But if it's not helping you, there's something going on,
Yeah.
because our creators. We are creators, and there's a disconnect somewhere that is blocking forward movement and upward movement. If you're not somebody who's joyous most of the time, there's deprogramming and reprogramming that needs to happen, and
Yeah.
you're the one who can do it.
Yeah. And
So,
oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, I just figured out it was Dr. Bradley Nelson. And they talk about sometimes putting up a heart wall, and you have a wall that goes up because you don't want to let in certain emotions or certain thoughts or ideas, that
it's
sort of thing.
self-protection.
You know?
It's self-protection. And I mean, if you consider what so many people have been through,
Yeah.
many people in these communities, in the metaphysical communities, in the UFO communities, in the
Mm-hmm.
experiencer communities, in the NDE communities, in the abduction communities, we have been through so much
Mm-hmm.
programming and trials and tribulations to get to a place where we're truly trusting each other,
Yeah.
where we're trusting ourselves, and we're trusting the process, and we're releasing what needs to be released. It's going to be a few years, and Awaken
Mm-hmm.
Wholeness Center is right there to help that
Well, you're on the
transition,
forefront. You guys are on
right?
the forefront. But you know what, though? I like to sort of feel that we are starting to make a lot of changes. Though I think that yes, it's going to take a lot of time for the average Joe Blow
Yeah.
driving that truck, to make that change. But like, I mean, I think there are a lot of people that are starting to come online. I think what the reason why we get the impression that it's not happening or it's going to take a long time is because the media is still controlled. The media is still trying to give off this type of like, you know, garbage of like,
Yeah.
and people are not watching TV. People are not watching movies. People are not going to the movies anymore. All that kind of stuff.
No, but
People are
they're on
really starting to
social
tune that
media.
out. You know?
They're still consuming social media.
Yeah.
And hmm,
Even
focus
with the
on.
social media, I think even with that, people realize that okay, with the social media, especially with kids, people are starting to turn around and say, you know what, I want to have my kids have less exposure to that. A lot of people are starting to recognize that social media, and I'm
Yes.
not trying to protect anybody or defend anyone. I'm just saying that a lot of people are realizing that social media is starting to screw with them.
Yes.
So at least people are aware, they're cognizant and aware that this social media, like I can't continue to eat 6 cheeseburgers or stuff like that, that kind of thing. I mean, look, people know that fast food is not good for you. But if people are continuing to eat it, it's not like they don't know. They just do it anyway. But like, I mean, it's people are realizing and saying, you know what, I need to
People
change the
go
way I eat.
unconscious.
You know
People
what I
go
mean?
unconscious. People go unconscious and they go on automatic pilot.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to shift away from. And the more people that do it, the more people that are doing it. I mean, there are absolutely amazingly brilliant, beautiful, divine messages coming across on social media platforms,
Mm-hmm.
right? But are you paying attention to what you're consuming?
Yeah.
Are you spending your time consuming? Are you scrolling all day? Are you scrolling all night? Do you have your shoes off and are you in, is there grass between your toes?
Yeah.
Are you gardening? Do you have your hands in the soil?
Mm-hmm.
If not, are you sun gazing? Are you going to the beach? Are you planting? Do you have plants in your home? Are your
Yeah.
hands and you're creating? What are you doing with your time?
Mm-hmm.
Rearranging the priorities and shifting. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much now that's changing and shifting.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's amazing potential and it's building that potential for positive, joyous, loving change is absolutely happening.
Yeah.
That tsunami that is impacting the world
Mm-hmm.
right
Yeah.
now. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. But you
Um,
but you know what though? I think, a couple of months ago, Angela and I and Kevin, we were talking about the pulse. We were talking about a possible 3 days of darkness, that sort of thing. And I think that sometimes we are in the process of, sort of going along, and then sometimes something happens and we are sort of given a sort of a swift kick in the rear to sort of get on it, and I think that there's definitely something that's going to be coming up, and I'm not trying to be a naysayer or doom gloom, but I feel that something will be coming very soon that will, let's say for example, if we had 3 days of darkness, doesn't mean that the planet blows up, no, but let's say we don't have our technology, our tech, and our cell phones and our smartphones for 3 days. It's going to, and maybe even longer. But that's going to force people to sort of say, okay, I have to learn how to garden. I have to learn how to not survive with my phone. I can't be doom scrolling every day. So little things like that, I think, are sort of on the way. But, it doesn't change the fact that once that happens, then we are going to be forced into really, it's going to really change the paradigm, I think, of this planet. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm a lot more optimistic. I don't know.
I the the messages that have come through that people have been talking about, the messages that initially came through, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. Think about all of the changes that we have gone through, even in the last 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
right? The last 5 years, the last 2 or 3 years. If there's a way to let go of all of the preconceived ideas that we had, even though 20 years ago, those were the things that were exciting us and making us look for other people like us, making us look for community of people who were a little bit different, who were, who were aware of ETs and star seeds and the shift that was coming,
Yeah.
the quickening that was coming, the increase in the frequencies, the potential for the shift, that spiritual shift, that shift into conscious awareness, that shift into becoming more psychic, becoming more in tune with the planet, with all of creation, right? And in the groups that I've been running for the last several years, I've often have talked about, do you have your God goggles firmly planted on your face? Because if you've got your God goggles on, the way that you perceive even the simplest things, if those God goggles you've unconsciously taken them off and you can't remember where they are, and you've gotten triggered and you're fearful, you're having a fearful reaction, if you hear a noise, that noise may startle you and may bring you to a place of fear. But if you've got your consciousness in check, if you're wearing your God goggles, if you are in tune, aware, and in alignment with your highest potential, your coherence, the way that you hear that sound may be completely different and is going to be the thing that saves you. You're not going to react to it from fear. You're going to react to it from a place of knowing and a place of guidance.
Okay.
Spirit is guiding. Our higher selves are guiding us forward. But if we are unconscious, sometimes we have to be shaken
Yeah.
to bring us to presence. Because if we're always in the future or we're always in the past, we're not here.
Okay.
We can't receive the gifts. We can't receive the communication. We can't, from our higher self, from spirit, from our guidance, from a loving creator that is helping us remember that the order of the universe is coherence. It's not chaos.
Okay.
That we are moving back towards that coherence, that love, that guidance, that unity, that joy is already in existence. We just have to remember it to be able to actually see where we're going,
Okay.
right? We have to keep the windshield wipers on and hands on the wheel moving forward, and not one hand on the wheel in the back trying to fix stuff, looking in our bags, because then we're going to go off the road, right? We have to stay present and conscious. And the best way to do that is to find people that are like you and to start talking about what's happening for you, and for you to spend more time thinking about you, of course, not you, Crystal.
No, I know. But the
All
royal
of
way.
us,
Yeah.
to make a conscious choice about where we're spending our time and our energy, our life force energy creating with our minds. Is it joy? Is it helping your future and the future of all of us? Right? That's kind of the bridge that
Yeah.
us are standing on, going this way, this way.
Yeah.
Here's the light,
Yeah.
those beacons of
Yeah.
consciousness, as we are still all awakening more and to a deeper level.
Exactly. But speaking of awakening and getting back to some of the tools that are going to be used at the Awaken Center, when we were looking at some of the slides, we saw the mat. I think it was a blue mat. And we have Kelly Wacker here who says that, is that mat sort of like a grounding mat?
Yes.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. So while you're on the mat and you have your hands on the metallic material and you're listening to some wonderful music, embedded with beautiful 432 frequency and 528 frequency, um, there it's like the energy that's moving through you with those coherent frequencies coming through, the mat goes to ground. So it is grounded. The mat itself is grounded. As you are on it, listening to that music, being on the mat, that mat is made of denim. It's cotton denim. And what's sewn into that mat is I think like 96 tiles made of this composite that is, Ross's creation,
Okay.
that includes things like shungite and lapis and things of that nature to help ground and reprogram the blueprint. So it's helping release the density, release that trauma. There amazing things can happen. I don't know that I've ever heard the same story from different people. There are so many different things that happen depending on your unique makeup, right? And the things that you uniquely are holding and who you are and where you're coming from with everything that you're coming with. The mat's going to meet you where you are and give you and provide the space for you to get what you need.
Okay.
The frequencies that you're listening to are going to help open your stuff to release,
Okay.
right? To the extent that you are ready to release it. Even in biofield tuning, when people are like, you're going to find a trauma that's going to freak me out. No, no, we're not. We're only going to find what your body and your consciousness is ready to release and let go of.
Okay.
That's what we're working on. That's what's moving out. That's what we're releasing and healing for you, because that's what you are ready for.
Okay.
You're in charge. You're guiding it. Your consciousness is guiding, right? The steps that get taken.
Yeah.
As you're in that coherence. It's just the tech is just providing that beautiful coherence for you.
Okay. And I know that you're talking a lot about the shungite. And if I'm not mistaken, shungite is a type of black stone, right? It's like a black porous stone, if I'm not mistaken. It comes from different areas. I think one of the places is Russia.
Russia is the only place.
It's the only place. Yeah, I think Russia is one of the only places that has shungite. And I know that you're talking about a shungite room. And Kelly Wacker, Kelly, I love you because you always have such good comments and questions. And Kelly says, "What shungite is actually not a crystal, but it is a wonderful EMF neutralizer." I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Here we go.
Oh, there you go. That's shungite. Okay.
Yes, this has shungite in it. So
Okay.
this is a medium that Ross makes, and there are multiple crystals and stones in this,
Okay.
mixed with shungite,
Okay.
and a non-toxic resin to create like a kind of
A medallion. Yeah.
a little puck, right, that gets put into the holder. But there's also like also have these for the
phone.
Right, right. And so the idea is not that it blocks anything, but that it reverses the spin so that man-made tech is not working in opposition to what your heart is, the way that your heart is working. Because the human heart is clockwise.
Okay.
The spin on the electromagnetic frequency, pulse, movement of man-made tech goes counterclockwise. So it's about assisting that to move in the right way in a field around you. So it's almost like a protective bubble. It's helping your energy work less hard,
Okay.
right? We're not now fighting. It's now working for me and with me.
You know what though? And I know I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I apologize in advance, but I just find that interesting how you have a technology that is working and contrary to the human heart. There's something there that, I'm sorry. There's something wrong there. It's one thing to sort of talk up and say, "Oh, well, we didn't know about asbestos." That's true. They didn't know about asbestos. I work in facilities management, and I know that asbestos, when they were working on it, okay, we didn't know. We didn't know about lead, stuff like that. There's
Well,
some things that
the
we don't
ironic
know.
thing, the
You know what I
ironic,
mean? But that for me is kind of like, things that make you go,
but
you
so,
know?
Crystal, I don't know if you've heard this, but lead actually blocks EMF.
Oh, oh. But it causes also a lot of other, unfortunately, a lot of other health.
Does it?
It
Does
does.
it? Does it? Or is it the chemicals that are in there with it? The toxic
Oh.
chemicals that are thrown in there with it. So there are a lot of things to examine, right? We have been taught.
Oh.
The things that we have been taught and the
Okay, that part of the deprogramming. There you go.
right. So there's, do your research, look
Okay.
in.
No, I will definitely look into that because, like, I mean, I did not know. Like, again, here we are. Even me, yeah, host of the show. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know, and either it's people like yourself who are working in this field, or some of the members that we have, like Kelly and Angela and Jimmy, who show me certain bits of information that I didn't know about. So, like, I honestly didn't know. So, but you can be sure I'm going to be checking that out, because you're right. Why not? Because sometimes they
Why
hide
so?
things and they say, "Oh, but it's dangerous," when really it's because it goes against big pharma, or goes against big oil, or goes against big tech, or big this or big
Why were
that.
all the copper pipes removed from our homes and replaced with PVC pipe?
Yeah,
Right? What happens when water flows through copper?
yeah.
Right? Like that's a really good thing. That there are a lot of things so I'm going to answer the question that you asked just a couple of moments ago with this idea, like why would, well, it's because of a consciousness level, right? Is the consciousness in a place where it is in existence for collective good, or is it in existence for selfish reasons, controlling reasons,
Yeah.
right? So there are consciousnesses here that are of course it's, to think, I mean, I just think in the future, when we can look back and comprehend the things that were born within a consciousness level and time frame where selfishness existed, where war existed, where power over existed, all of the things that came to fruition, even our own electronics, the things that some people created, like the light bulb that was created to light, amazing thing, but is it utilizing free tech, free energy? Is it utilizing things that
Like, well,
affirm
Nikola Tesla.
life,
Yeah, Nikola Tesla could
affirm
have
life?
given us free technology, and then JP Morgan said no. So, yeah.
So that's all changing and that's all shifting,
Yeah.
and we're in many ways we are, excuse me, in many ways we are remembering what we have utilized in the future that we are trying to remember to bring into the present.
Yeah.
And so the more we work on ourselves and overcome and release the incoherence, the lower consciousness level ways of being that keep us in division and fighting for survival, the more that we comprehend that that's not why we were created, and that there is amazing abundance and joy and beauty and love available, more than we could ever utilize, to its full extent, that the unfathomable abundance of love and joy and creativity and excitement and content, gratitude, that absolutely exists. at the same time that the incoherence exists. And if we can become more conscious, we can realize that we're not subject to anything, that everything is a choice, that we can slow down our breath, we can slow down our thoughts, we can slow down what we are doing so that we're making a conscious choice about which path we're choosing. Everyone has that right because everyone is coming from Creator.
Yeah.
Everyone has that ability to shift and pivot, to heal and not exist in victimhood, and not only exist in survival, but to truly thrive. We were created to thrive. We were not created to exist completely consumed as victims and as survivors. We get to thrive, and we have that potential within our lifetimes. We just have to make the choice. We have to choose it. We have to consciously choose it in each and every moment until that's what we are on autopilot around.
Yeah.
That it couldn't even come into our brains, right? To just make the simple thing of like, I was driving home today, I was coming home from the grocery store, and I was just, not thinking about anything in particular. And then all of a sudden a negative thought came in, and I was just like, where'd you come from? I don't have time for you. There's the door, out you go. I got stuff to do and an appointment on Tuesday.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Yeah.
Like that it's that
But
doable,
autopilot.
it's that doable
Yeah.
to become consciously aware of where our thoughts are going and to autocorrect,
Yeah.
to self-correct is absolutely something that every single person can do.
Absolutely. And on that note, you were talking before. What's one of the things that are going to be happening there is the use of the harmonizer, which uses sound and music. And I actually had another question, but sound healing seems to be one of the big things that I know that you're working on. You use your tuning forks, and you're going to be also doing it at the center. And I have here Kelly who says, Kelly Wacker, she says, I really believe that sound and frequency healing will become more and more popular. And you're going to be doing that kind of sound healing at the center, no? With like your forks?
Yeah, I mean, I have been doing it for quite some time, and I technically sure it falls under sound therapy, but because I'm a sign language interpreter and there are so many deaf people in, on, and around my life, I talk about it as frequency, because frequency can be felt. Frequency can be perceived. It's not just about what you hear. It's about what you feel. And in a way, your ability to hear is a feeling that you have based on the way that your eardrum is responding to the incoming sound waves, right? So, but that's movement, that's traveling of life force, right? And so there are different ways. Yes, it is the future. It's been being talked about by people that work with tuning forks, that people that work with gongs, that people that work with crystal bowls and singing bowls and brass bowls. It's been, frequency has been, I mean, frequency, right, is what ultrasounds use.
Yeah.
Right? It's pinging frequency, and it's creating a visual. Frequency is the basis of so much healing throughout the universe. It is unbelievable. It is something, frequency is believed to be how the pyramid stones got built, right?
Yeah.
How those massive stones were moved was because of frequency. There's lots of demos of that.
Yeah, and that's pure science too. And that's the thing, is that it's not just the woo woo or hocus pocus. They're actually showing real sound and like right now it's still an experimental stage where they have little balls or little things, but they're actually being held up and you can move them around and stuff like that. So but we're I'm sorry?
So magnetics, the way that
okay.
Observed, yeah. But I mean, if you think about it, it's so funny to me that people think of like tuning forks and crystal bowls and crystals and things of that nature as woo woo.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think of the fact that they use cell phones and they
Mm-hmm.
listen to radios
Mm-hmm.
and they watch televisions
Mm-hmm.
that's not physically connected to anything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your radio is doing? It's deciphering frequency that is invisible
Yeah, in
in
the air.
you.
Yeah. But
Like
you see, but again, that's paradigm because you see, we don't think about it. We don't think about the fact that you have a box on your desk that is taking invisible things and you hearing voices out of a box. If I were to say to you, yeah, I'm hearing voices out of a box, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this woman. But it's a radio. Oh, you see what I mean? So it's really about how we perceive things, and I think that this is going to be something that is going to we're going to look back on it 20, 30, 50 years and say, oh my god, remember when? But one of the things that I actually wanted to talk about is sort of get back before we wrap up is that I'm such a big animal lover, and I'd like to know if we can have our fur babies
yeah.
come with us to get received, because I feel that right now we're starting to, for example, I'm starting to see a lot more different dog food and different types of food for dogs and cats where they have probiotics, and they have different types of herbs and all these types of supplements in the food for the dogs. And I mean, back in the day that was just like unheard of, and now people are saying no, no, they deserve to have edible food. Like, it's getting to the point where the food, you can actually eat it. Like, I mean, I don't know if I would, but like it's getting to the point where the food is actually more human grade, where we can actually, if you were on a desert island, you can actually eat the food, but that the
Yeah.
food is actually infused with probiotics and prebiotics and all types of supplements. So with that in mind, can we look towards the center like this being a place for also our fur babies to come with us?
That's a great question. And we haven't talked about it as a staff. We haven't talked about it as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we haven't talked about it collectively. I know that, my cats love my core harmonizer, and I know that there are lots of pictures on Ross's website
Mm-hmm.
where, dogs are curled up around it. There's like cats on them.
Mm-hmm.
The animals absolutely love the tech. The meditation mat that I used to have it downstairs in one of the rooms downstairs. One of my cats was always on it, always on it. He would lay on, I would have it covered with different layers of like cotton blanket. And he would instinctively be laying on the metallic grounding piece.
Mm-hmm.
That's just where he would hang out. And it's now not there. It's now in the office that he doesn't have access to.
Oh no, so now he hates you.
But I got out another grounding mat for the
Mm-hmm.
cats
Mm-hmm.
because I love them so much. So, yes, animals receive benefit from the tech. I don't know that we're going to be able to have animals come and utilize the rooms just because of how many people have animal allergies. Um,
Okay.
that would be, if we had in the future, that would be a really cool thing to have,
Mm-hmm.
a place that animals.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people would really be, I think a lot of people would be serious. Say, dang, I would bring my dogs
Yeah.
and all kinds of like animals and bring, because people are really, people spend actually, I don't know the exact numbers, but people on average spend millions of dollars on their pets. This would just be one more thing. So like, I mean, I think people be very serious about this. Not even, I'm not even joking,
No, no, I don't think that you are. I mean,
no.
I've done biofield tunings for cats. I've done them for dogs. I've done them
Mm-hmm.
for horses. I haven't really done them for any other type of animal yet. But I've worked on horses. I've worked on dogs. I've worked on cats. I've worked on them in person, and I've worked on them remotely.
Mm-hmm.
And they get a lot of benefit from the healing frequencies and intentions in the aether. They share
Okay.
lots of information. And yeah, animals, absolutely. And I know I have heard that the med beds will absolutely be available for pets, for animals.
Okay, great. That's perfect. So, before we wrap up, I just wanted to sort of, right now we're July 16th. So you're looking at what, the end of August, maybe, when things will be hopefully up and running? Yeah?
Yep. Yep. At least our soft opening in I want to say about maybe 6 weeks. Um, I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. It feels like, we don't have a whole lot left to do, but the stuff that we have to do is going to take a bit of time, and
Okay.
it's all of us getting used to the software, the computer software, the scheduling and the programming, and then our schedules, and then, you know, it- us utilizing and seeing how it goes, doing a few days of training in the facility in the way that we have it, just to make sure that we're running smoothly, and then our soft opening. Um, and yeah, I think within the next few weeks, like within about 3 to 4 weeks, the scheduling software will be open so people can start booking.
Okay, cool. That's really great. Well, you know what? I just wanted to just say thank you so much. It's a shame, like, but I mean, there's been so much going on, and there's a lot happening right now, so it's unfortunate you weren't able to have the center open. But you'll come back again, and we'll talk more about it, and we'll have a live video this time. We'll have live video, and
Yeah, I can show you. I'll be able to show you the
show
bebop,
us.
show you the shungite room.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
That'd be great. Well, I just wanted to just say thank you so much, Ingrid, for being here with us and for talking to us about this beautiful new creation that's being done by Heather and Ross Newkirk. And I'm really hoping that they're watching tonight. And I just want to say thank you, you guys, for being on the cutting edge of health and vitality. And I think that you guys are going to go down in history because there's always those people that sort of have the vision and are able to see the future. And yeah, you're right. We're not living in the future, but like, I mean, we are able to see it. And so it is something that you have to have the ability to see the future. And so I think that you guys are really on the cutting edge. And I think that a lot of what you're working on will continue to reverberate, no pun intended, but reverberate, you
Thank,
know?
thank you for giving us the time and for giving
Yeah.
us the opportunity to talk about it. And I will forever be grateful to Ross and Heather and Marika, and the whole crew and Corey and everybody, for doing their, comprehending for as long as they have comprehended what their life's work was, to move forward in faith and trust. Um, I'm just so grateful. I'm going to get choked up. I'm so grateful and I'm so excited, and I'm really honored to be able to work with these people. Um, and so I look forward to meeting folks who can come to the center and who are able to book with us, folks who are able to book with us remotely, and look forward to another update as we move into getting ready for our grand opening some point
Exactly.
early fall.
Yeah, and you know what though? And oh, I have Jimmy who says here, Jimmy Chunga says, looking forward to meeting you, Ingrid. So definitely, if you are in the Rhode Island area or somewhere abouts in that area, and maybe I don't know, this end of August, beginning, I might say maybe mid September, when things are probably going to be a little
I
bit
hope
better.
not right when G6 happening, because I'm going to be going to G6.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm hoping the timing works out, that maybe the grand opening will be right when I come back from G6. Um,
Okay.
Not before. I really, really don't want it to happen while I'm there. Um,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
thank you so much, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Um, and be well. Keep your God goggles on. Um,
And we'll be following through with what's happening. I know that Ingrid will be giving me some regular feedback. I will definitely look forward to speaking with her again later in August to see how things are going. And wouldn't it be nice if at some point in the near future, maybe not this year, but maybe sometime next year, maybe if things change and are able to sort of put people up, we would love to have sort of like a Starseeds and Lightworkers sort of, meet up, but meet up in real person,
Awesome.
That would be awesome. People could sort of, obviously we'd give people a head start, but, it would be lovely to sort of meet all our members in a place that would be specifically where we'd want to meet up, So that would be something I'd love to see something like that next year, maybe next summer, and we can all sort of show up and be a part of this whole thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to say thank you to all our members for showing up tonight. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. It really helps us a lot. And it really helps us to bring you a lot of good content here on YouTube. So please, if you haven't already, and you're watching this and you're part of the meetup group, please subscribe on here on YouTube. Just press subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next one. So take care, everybody, and thank you again, Ingrid, for being here with us. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Everybody on Saturday, and for Luke Blue Eagle. And I just wanted to say thank you again, Ingrid. We look forward to seeing you soon, and keep up the good work.
Okay? Thank you. Blessings.
Okay, take care, everyone. We look forward to seeing everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Take care, everybody. Good night.